only authorized personnel. Background: I work for a kind of ISP doing in-house testing of systems to design new solutions for customers. This sometimes requires an active internet connection, which had to be activated by our airtime department, as it could be quite expensive in theory. Only the accounting part is done by the airtime department. The actual activations is something we can do ourselves, but not allowed to do so without airtime consent. Previously I had merely asked our local airtime team to activate a system for the duration of the test, then deactivate again once test was completed. And this is where our story begins. A change from upper management meant that our local airtime department got cancelled and all its functions were moved back to HQ in another country. This worked out okay for a short time, until someone in management brought in a new boss for the company's airtime department. Meet Power Boss. A new boss with little insight in how operations work, but with extremely anal desire to make sure every little rule is followed to the letter. Does not matter if it makes sense or not. I quickly started to get a massive dislike towards this boss. We have all sorts of little conflicts. Example 1. I file a request to have a system activated within the current week as we have a major, one of the biggest companies in the world, customer coming by to see the systems late in the following week. It takes time for the databases to fill up once the system is activated. So it is important this done in good time to allow for this. I hear nothing during the week but assume all is okay. Until Monday morning, where I found out the system is not activated. For data to fill up, only airtime can do this portion of the activation. I call the airtime department and ask what is going on, why it has not been activated. Power Boss decided to take the activation out of the standard queue to show it to the team for an internal training how to do activations. I am of course furious at this point. Why they have not called me or informed me about this, as this is a major problem. I insist they do this now. Power Boss informs me that this is his decision and he is okay with this. At this time I kind of lose it and inform him politely but firmly that he has one job, and that is to ensure that systems get activated. And he best do that job. If not, I will have to take it to his superiors in order for the system to be activated ASAP so it can be ready for presentation with the potential customer. System gets activated during that day. But the following day I learn from one of the upper management bosses that Power Boss had reached out to HR and threatened to file a personal harassment case against me. HR denied this though, as they saw no reason for it. I am like, WTF? A harassment case over asking someone to do their job? Cue example 2 in the MC. I need an urgent activation of a system. And for this we with the new system have to file activation reports with all details. Quite tedious for something purely internal and temporary. Nonetheless I do this and send it over. It gets rejected by Power Boss because all it has not been signed by one of the VPs, who are the only one authorized to activate a system for a customer with a write-off in the thousands of USD. Though it is kind of a theoretical thing, as the internal cost is virtually nothing. I try to argue that it is quite a lot of work to chase down a VP for a signature when it is a very limited time and purely internal. Power Boss denies this and says very firmly only people on the list in the bottom of the activation form are allowed to approve this. Your name is not on this list, so you cannot approve. Talk to a VP. HMPH. It takes time, but I chase down a VP in another country and get him to sign the document and get the system activated. A couple of weeks later, Power Boss is in our new call center in Asia, out to do a demonstration on how the systems work and what it looks like in real life. Turns out that Power Boss needs a system activated and calls in and requests this. By some stroke of absolute luck, I pick up the phone. PB, hello, I need System XX activated. Me, do you have a signed activation form? Quote, PB, I don't need one. I am telling you to activate the system. Me, according to yourself. All activations must have an activation form. PB, fine, I am sending it in now. Me, I do not see any signature on this form. It needs to be approved by a VP. PB, but I am head of airtime. This is me writing these forms. I decide who can approve and who cannot. Me, your name is not listed on the form as one of the people who are allowed to approve. PB, who at this time is yelling at me? Clearly that is a mistake on the form. Just activate. Quote, me, only authorized personnel can do this. Your name is not on the list. PB, fine. Then hangs up. My God, it felt good. D. Power boss obviously complained to one of the VPs about this. But they merely shrugged and said that he himself had made the rules and the documents. That I was merely following the rules that he himself had set. Hilarious. D. Edit, it has been 56 years since that incident. I have been promoted. So the amount of interactions I have with PB is extremely limited. When he does write to me requesting whatever, I simply ignore all his email. I have made it a thing to never respond to any email he sends out. Or if I do respond, I remove him from the trail. This seems to have worked quite well as I have zero conflicts with him. I love that. Brilliant story. Well done. I used to have a rule set up in Outlook for a guy that pissed me off repeatedly. It just took anything from him, marked it as read, and moved it to the trash. Highly effective. Highly recommend. If only you could have added to the last explanation his name is not on the list. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. I approve of the edit to include more information that was given in a comment reply to someone. And it's also a delicious piece of MC. I can understand that rules are rules. And I'm mostly very stringent with regards to them myself. But I also know that sometimes it's a lot more efficient to be able to go outside the rules to get some temporary work done. This is a great opportunity to be the bigger person and stop acting like PB. Excellent MC too. Caught in his own trap. But the irony is that you will get fired sooner and later for this, as petty tyrants have good memory for insults like this. However, the potential ramifications are the following. Your salary will rise and your workload will go down. The company will go bankrupt in a couple of years. Why? Because the upper management who ignore these kinds of problems are not able to efficiently guide the company. I am referring to the VPs. Ending is malicious pettiness. You now ignore all his work-related email requests? That's so lame and unprofessional. Was on your side until I read that. Sounds like you too would have a great career in politics.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.